Hello! Today's episode is a really special one because we're celebrating the 10th anniversary of Waste360's 40 Under 40 Awards, a program that has helped spotlight and elevate the next generation of leaders across the waste, recycling, organics, and sustainability industries. Joining me is someone who has been instrumental in building that legacy from the very beginning, Liz Bothwell, who is no stranger to this show, no stranger to the industry. Liz is a content strategist and storyteller who has spent years covering the people, trends, and businesses shaping the industry. She has a real talent for turning complex issues into meaningful conversations and insights for industry leaders. She's also the driving force behind several of Waste360's most impactful recognition programs, including the 40 Under 40 Awards and Women Who Inspire Award, both of which have helped to build community and celebrate the people moving this industry forward. Liz, it's a joy to have you today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me.
Of course, Gage, I'm so psyched to be here and talk about one of our favorite things, our 40 under 40s.
Yeah, not that we haven't talked about it enough in our day-to-day life. Like putting this together is always a big climb for us, but I think it's a meaningful one, something we do put a lot of care and time into. A lot of people look at it and make sure that like we're everyone's getting a good look at the award, making sure that everyone who is being picked is super, not that everyone who's nominated isn't deserving of this thing, but
Right.
it's like, all right, we have to get this down to 4 and we're getting hundreds of names, right? So like breaking that down is a big process for us.
It is. It's a labor of love, like you're saying. I mean, this is it, to see the people behind the work. And I know we see it every day because we cover the industry every day, but to see them get nominated in this fashion and for people to cheer for them behind the scenes, it's extraordinary and one of our favorite things and hard to pick, like you're saying. I mean, we could probably have 100.
Yeah, we honestly almost everyone who gets nominated, other than like the repeat nominations, because people are just so deserving. It's like, wow, all these people should make it. How do you start cutting people down? And what's that process like? And maybe we'll get a little bit of insights on that today, but it is a tough ask. And we do, I think we do a pretty good job. Liz,
I think so too. And it's because there's so many great people to choose from.
Yeah, the industry makes it a good one to a reward, right? Because there is so
Yeah.
much good work being done. There is so much good innovation. And like at the end of the day, the goals that people are setting out, it's like, oh, wow, you guys are really doing some really impactful stuff. Of course you deserve
Right.
something like this.
Of course, yes.
So we are here for the 10th anniversary, the 10th annual 40 Under 40 Awards, the 40 Under 40 classes. That is pretty awesome. Pretty good milestone. I'm one that I'm happy to be a part of. But when I went for you, let's go back to the very first 40 Under 40 class and compare that today. What stands out to you? Like when we first bring that program on to Waste 360 and we kind of get this, integrated in Waste Expo, what was it like then and what's it like now?
Oh wow. I mean, it's so fun thinking back because it just started as a little spark, an idea that really came from being here and seeing that the industry, people were saying, oh, it's the old white man 50 and up kind of industry when I first started. And I thought, okay, well, that's great. And we should celebrate them. And then I started to see the halls of Waste Expo, and there were a ton of young innovators. There was a ton of diversity. And I thought, you know what? The industry's changing, but also there are a ton of people to celebrate. And we realized nobody was celebrating sort of this next generation, spotlighting these brilliant innovators who were doing great work. So back in 2016, I thought we need to celebrate this young talent. And um, we went ahead and did that and rolled this out. And they were modernizing the industry then. And in a lot of similar ways, like technology, although this is sort of an industry where folks are behind the scenes a lot and they don't get the recognition they deserve, there was innovation happening now, but it's just in different ways. You know, back then it was more in the operations and the idea of kind of leadership evolved a little bit. You know, there was a lot, and there still is a lot in operations and hauling and leadership. And now we're seeing a lot in AI, right? And food waste and sustainability and compliance. And although some of that was happening then, we're seeing it on a much different scale now.
Mhm.
So that was incredible.
Yeah, I think when when I have conversations in this industry, it's so thankless. There are a lot of things that go
Yeah.
on because, like, for the normal person, the normal me at home, there's not a lot of thought I put into like where things are going, being environmentally friendly, blah blah, how things work in my county, and maybe I should think about that more, especially because of the position I'm in. But I'm thinking about the average person; they're probably not thinking about it. So no one's getting what's going on behind the scenes. So an award like this is kind of recognizing like, oh, people are out there doing really cool things, not only in waste and recycling, but like you said, sustainability, textiles, the innovations we have going on in technology, glass recycling on a beach somewhere in New Orleans, like stuff like that you don't think of. You just think like, oh, okay, something must be happening to the environment, but like this is really good stuff that we should be calling attention to.
Exactly. And that was part of the inspiration too. You hit on a great point. The industry itself is way more innovative than outsiders kind of realize. And
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to put it on the map because it's one of those things you you put your trash out, it gets picked up. You put your recycling bin outside and you're hopeful that the right thing happens, right? You try to clean out your fridge for the food waste side of things, and people are composting now, and uh, you don't realize that behind the scenes there are people making this happen in a seamless way that you could never imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's more technology driven than people realize. It's the operations are really sophisticated now, and it's very sustainably focused. And there are a ton of entrepreneurial thinkers. Back in 2016, we did have business builders, and now those folks are they started businesses. Now some of them have left and gone on to different kinds of things. They've gone public with their companies. They've moved on to CEO positions within bigger companies. So it was about recognizing them where they were, kind of amplifying that for the outside world while also helping them kind of lead and grow themselves and within their careers. So it's just such a special industry. And I'm sure everybody watching or listening can hear it in our voices that
Mm-hmm.
we just respect the people within this industry so much. And you see that behind the nominations. You really see the humanity and the people first leadership and the mentorship and the humility. We could talk about it all day, but there's just so many great things about it that started in 2016. And obviously, before the awards program, this was happening. But the idea that Waste 360 as an entity can highlight these folks and watch them learn and grow has been one of the greatest things I know for Waste 360 and personally for me and now for you to watch.
Yeah, now this is only my third round of 40 under 40 winners. I've started in 23. So it's interesting to see. Like even back then I didn't read the nominations, but like seeing what everyone types in about all their favorite people in the industry, people think they're deserving. And it's like you said, like people are moving on to other things because this is kind of giving them a platform. People like, oh, here's the recognition. Let's just scale what we're doing. Every
Right.
nomination is like, wow, this person really deserves this. And they're outpacing where they work now because of all the amazing things they do or where they came from. People who weren't in waste originally, who jumped into waste because there was a need to fill, and now they're crushing it here. All
Exactly.
walks of life.
Right. And also, you're hitting on another good point, Gage. We wanted to highlight the industry so that young entrepreneurs and young, brilliant thinkers would want to come in and stay.
Mm-hmm.
So this highlights sort of a career track they can follow and reasons to stay within it. So the hope is once a lot of people say they accidentally got into it, and then they stayed for decades. So we're hoping that that helps foster a little bit of that.
Yeah. Clearly, there's good work to be done and good recognition happening here, so that is good.
Yeah.
I guess from 10 years ago, speaking of young professionals, have you noticed young professionals entering the industry differently than they used to? Like, I feel like maybe back then it was kind of like a how do I say this nicely? They just maybe didn't have any direction out of high school or something, just took a job right away, and they just kind of worked their way through the waste industry. Not saying that everybody did that, but now it's like people are going, they're getting master degrees, doctorates, and coming into this industry,
Right.
right? Like, has that been a big trend different for you?
Well, I think I think they are coming in from different directions. And I
Mhm.
think that the industry is proving that they can stay here and grow. And like you're saying, go for their doctorate, get into research in other areas. And it's so multidimensional, in like 10 years ago, we were definitely talking about sustainability and recycling, but now you're seeing AI, you're seeing robotics, you're seeing predictive maintenance and organics recovery. We're talking a lot about a circular economy that we didn't really talk about 10 years ago, and data analytics and all of that kind of becoming everyday conversations. And when you do that, you give people in different areas and sectors an opportunity to come in and be part of it. And, the shift in careers within the industry is, really happening. We're seeing
Mhm.
it in engineers and policy people and data specialists and entrepreneurs. And the industry has always been very entrepreneurial. It's kind of how it started. And that's what we love celebrating. A lot of the people who, grassroots people who started with a truck and ended up with hundreds and working in different regions, and then either selling or moving on to something even bigger for themselves. And I think the industry has also become more collaborative, Gage. Like, they recognize that these challenges go beyond just the industry because people are more aware now, right? This whole shift into consumers being more aware of what's happening
Mhm.
um, at the end of life has shifted thinking in a lot of ways, and people have become more collaborative, and we're spotlighting partnerships, right, with companies and municipalities and circular economy company, people part of sort of that whole ecosystem are coming together and really trying to tackle these challenges together. And that's what really needs to happen in order for us to continue to um, look after the planet in the way that sort of our everyday environmentalists, meaning this industry, have done
Right.
um, for a century now or more.
Yeah. As the umbrella of the waste and recycling industry grows, it's like more people being swept up, like, oh, there is opportunity there. I can have a degree in computer science and go into the waste and recycling industry because there's a need there for it now. So
Exactly.
I think that is cool, and like I think that evolving shift is definitely seen from where this program started to where we are now. Because I mean, the amount of people we get in who are just like, yeah, I developed an AI trash can that tells you where to throw your things. Like our innovator, Hassan,
Yeah.
Intuitive AI, it's like, yeah, he made this program that like talks to you about where you put your recycling at a sports game. Like, oh, that's awesome, great. That's something we
Right.
hadn't had before.
And
Um,
people can relate to that, right? Like you're saying, people go to games.
mhm,
Even Emma Bright, right? From Mill, right?
mhm.
She came up with an invention and helped rolled it out that is completely changing the way people think about food waste. And they're making this happen and they're collaborating in order to do it. And it's extraordinary.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's really cool to see and watch, and especially like people we've met prior to like, wow, you've won one finally. You made the cut. Here you go.
Right, right.
Um, I guess when we're looking at nominations to you, what do you think makes a nomination memorable? Like, are we you and I, we look at a lot of different angles for this. We take in like every nomination's read. We kind of break down what's going on. What are they doing in their day to day job? Are they involved in their community? Have they made a program? Where did they come from? What makes a memorable nomination? You think?
Well, I think we absolutely look for, right, innovation. Have they had success, operationally speaking? Has there been growth? All of
Mhm.
that. But I think the ones that really stand out to me are the ones where you can see that the person nominating them or the people they're surrounded by or their companies have a real respect for the people that they're talking about. A lot of this year's nominations for sure, there was a lot of talk about how these people lead, how humble they are, how important teamwork is to them, and how they show up for others. And a lot of them, like we said before, they're solving difficult problems, but they're also helping to develop the next generation around them. And I know Quite a few of them are FILA members too on the NWRA side, and they're promoting, young professionals as well. And we saw a lot of that within our nominations, like we always do. And you can usually tell pretty quickly, when someone is making a real impact at their company or their department, and the people they work with right away. It's almost like the way it's written has this special quality to it that accentuates not only, their growth trajectory and what they've accomplished within their career in the company and departments, but also the impact that they're having on others. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. And also, and you saw this too, Gage, you were realizing that a lot of the 40 under 40s who have won previously are nominating others.
Hmm.
And to us, that's the full circle that we had hoped for when we originally launched this. Here they are, these brilliant young professionals bringing up others and mentoring them and then nominating themselves. And then a lot of them have won as well. So it's just so heartwarming to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely a position where it's like these winners have won, gone on, and now they're recognizing that their own leadership's bleeding into other people. And now we're seeing those leadership qualities kind of spread out. I don't want to call it a pyramid scheme, but that's kind of what it feels like. We have one person sharing leadership and they're sharing leadership and it's all the way down. And that's kind of been, I think, a big thing we saw this year, we've seen in previous years, is once that leadership quality is kind of defined by their peers, it makes the nomination really stronger. And these
Definitely.
people like to lead. These people are confident. They really like to get in there, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty because that's the industry we're in and really make an impact. And I think that's really admirable. And I think that we see that a lot in our nominations. And I think those are good qualities to have for anybody listening for the 27 nominations. I think that's a good way to start.
I think so too. And also, we do pay attention to what they do outside the industry, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a lot of these folks, like I said, they're volunteering in associations. They're doing things within their own community. They're actually launching programs within their community because they care. They care about the industry. They care about the environment. So even seeing that warms the heart too, because these are good people and good humans who are sharing professionally and personally, and we love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Let's shift a little bit to the 10 years you've seen this program grow. Again, I've only been here for 3. So what is it like watching former winners grow into major leadership roles? We've talked about how there's so much growth in this industry. Every Waste Expo we go to, we run into somebody who's in like a position of power now, and they have a little badge that says 40 under 40 winner. And like, wow, where did you come from? Like, oh, this was from 2017. Like, where have you been since? And they're always in like this new position in the industry. They're all growing. What is it like watching those former winners go on to do more great things?
Oh my God, it's like this might sound cheesy, but it's like launching a child out into the world. You're just so proud because you saw something in them early on, and their peers and their managers saw something in them early on, and you recognize them, and then you just see them watch and grow, and you look back and you kind of shake your head and you're like, that person was a rock star. I knew it. And they're going to do great things, and they continue to do great things. And I also think when people are kind of they're born to be leaders like this and they want to do great things, and obviously they have the smarts to back it up, and the ideas, and they want to bring people along. When you see that in someone, they're going to do great things. So it's already in them, but the fact that we can celebrate them and watch them fly, I mean, really, this has been the highlight of my work here at Waste 360, because it's a people industry, as everybody knows. And the fact that we have been able to celebrate some of the smartest young professionals out there, there's nothing better, honestly. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad we're still doing this 10 years later, and we'll continue to do it, hopefully, for decades more.
Yeah, I definitely hope so. And it's nice like running into these new winners. Like I mean I was lucky enough to host the 40 under 40 awards in 2024. I think I hosted them. And meeting those winners that year, like I've always, since I've been here, I've hosted the Rising Leaders conversation at Waste Expo that features 40 under 40 award winners. Having talking to them, I'm like, wow, okay, we made a great choice. You really know what's up here and stuff. And a story I remember from 24 is I ran into Matt Sharp at LRS, and Joy Rifkin from LRS had won that year. And
Oh,
me
yeah.
and him talked about Joy for about 20 minutes on how awesome she was. And really, he talked to me about Joy, about just gushing over and over, like she's amazing. She come from education. Now she's over here helping us. And like hearing those stories at Waste Expo every year was like, this is really eye opening. This is people really put a lot of stock into this. I'm glad because we put a lot of stock into this. And like, this is a really strong program for our industry that people just like, they don't balk at. Like, this is something they're really looking forward to.
Oh, definitely. And people want to celebrate them. Like even the CEOs of the largest public companies, they come and to celebrate them. And although we're not having the awards program celebration this year because we don't have Waste Expo, these 26 winners will be celebrated all year, and then we will celebrate them on stage at Waste Expo. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where you see a lot of that. You see how important it is and how much these organizations want to foster young professionals. They know how important it is. And that's why they have leadership programs. That's why they have their own awards because they want to make sure that the cream rises to the top and it's fabulous.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to because we'll do interviews with each winner and kind of get a little more insight in their story. So I'm excited to talk to them when that time comes, once the dust settles from what we've got going on in the next couple of weeks here. So like my story with Joy and Matt, I guess. Do you have any memorable stories from over the years that have stayed with you from 40 under 40? Is anything kind of sticking out?
Oh, oh my gosh, Gage, so many. I mean,
Do we need
even
another podcast for this?
yeah, exactly. I'm thinking back to the even the first group of winners in 2016. You know, you just have people who have gone on to do great things and they're continuing to speak for us. They're continuing to fill us in on what they're doing. And every time I see them, and I keep in touch with a lot of them, and every time I talk with them, I just get super excited about what they're doing. I mean, I even think about Stephanie Bolliard, who won while she was at EREF. She's
Hmm.
moved on, but she's sharing her perspectives of things like getting back to basics with technical writing and sort of that scientific piece of things within the industry and PFAS and other things. So, those kinds of things are great. I think about people like Kristen Kinder, who was in sustainability at WasteQuip, and now she's moved on to her own consulting, and she is helping companies figure out that sustainability piece and she's actually going to be writing for us in a column called Practical Sustainability and about sort of her experiences, and I love bringing them the winners back into the fold. And then people like Keith Harrison, who headed up and started the recycling partnership. She's an incredible person and she has done amazing things. I mean, we could take the whole podcast talking about her, and she's stepping down from TRP, I believe at the end of this year or this summer. And she lives in Providence, Rhode Island, and they just rolled out a new program there, and they've really helped change behavior and bring sort of the consumer together with CPG brands and the haulers and the recyclers. So again, that whole collaborative piece of it has been all inspiring to watch. And I think about Matanya from AMP. I mean, I remember talking with him and thinking, gosh, this guy is brilliant and he's so humble. And here we are, AMP just launched that incredible 20-year relationship down in Virginia, where they're using their technology to improve operations. And at the end of the day, that's also going to improve recycling and
Right.
it's changing the game. So, I mean, that's just a handful, and I feel sorry for anyone I'm leaving out. And I'm thinking about Ryan, who's with American Battery. His company is in Nevada, and I mean, he's doing um, critical mineral recycling. And now we're all talking about this. And he was thinking
Mhm.
about this before it became mainstream. And those are just a few that I follow, and there's so many more. And I feel badly I haven't named them all. I'm thinking of Josh Mann, who's still at WM, and he's doing incredible things on the municipal side. And he's a great collaborator and really good at partnering and helping programs launch well. And that's just so important. But there's so many more. I mean, Patrick. at GFL, right? I mean, there's been so many that I can't even name them all, but
Yeah.
they're they're incredible, and the stories just grow and grow. And to your point, I can't wait to talk to our 26 winners because wait till everyone sees those. I mean, we have someone who was a vet himself, and
Mhm.
now the work he's doing is helping veterans in our country, which is so important. And we have a woman who uh, is third generation and she's still scaling and helping her business grow. So people like that, we love celebrating among all the innovators and everything else that's happening. Just watch for the stories to come out over the next few months because
Mhm.
they are incredible.
Yeah, I think we have some really good stories to kind of uncover there. And again, for anyone listening, the winners are announced on waste360.com. You can check those out now. Um, Liz, we have talked a lot. I have a few more questions here. Let's kind of roll through. So a trend I'm noticing in the industry is the retention of talent from a young age. The 40 under 40 is what it is. It's 40 winners under 40, but not every winner is like 38, 39. Some winners are in their early 20s. We even had a winner in 23 who was 18 who started his own hauling business in his local community. I think Will something. That's
Yeah.
old. So what is this program doing to like recruit and retain talent? You think are we seeing people notice like, okay, maybe these blue collar jobs are for me because it isn't just picking up trash. There is more to be done here. Like this program does a lot more than just give awards.
Absolutely. It fosters a sense of community and it to be recognized on a stage like this gives credibility to the industry, outside the industry, and then within the companies themselves. So when some and also you know how it is as a person to get accolades like this in such a way that it stays with you and it makes you want to continue to do good and continue to stay within the industry because you see that there are opportunities. And of course, more opportunities open up to people after they win awards and things like that because their work becomes more visible to people. And this visibility helps sort of create this track. So I think the awards help in so many ways. And I remember um, Josh Cohen. He started Junk Luggers,
Mhm.
and we had rolled. And Gage, we should think about doing this again because this is something you would love. We kind of did. Where are they now? It was based on that, but it's what's happening now. And we went to some of our 40 under 40s to see, specifically, like our first 2 years, to see what they were up to now. And I'll never forget Josh saying that so many doors opened for him once this award was won. So whether that's in investments, whether that's in capital, whether that's in just visibility overall, whether it's your career path, doors do open when you get awards like this. And then we try to keep you in our ecosystem, right? Like we like to follow you to see where you're going and what you're doing next because these award winners are our most innovative within the industry. So we want to see what they're up to. We want to watch sort of their next step and their next invention because it improves the entire industry as a whole. So it's really fun. And I remember Rachel Oster too when we went back for the What's Happening Now. And we'll have to bust those out because they're really cute and fun. And she cried and she said that she had never been recognized on a stage like this, and it meant the world to her during what was a really busy time for her. So there's an emotional piece to it. There's that whole career building piece, but the sense of community that you get once you're a 40 under 40 winner is really it's the best.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking that the 40 under 40 award winners have like their own special club that we're not invited to, and they get to hang out in Las Vegas, and they just get together like, yeah, we're award winners, whatever. Like, cool,
Exactly.
good for them, winning awards and things.
Right. Yeah. Look at us.
Uh, yeah, I've never won an award, but I was given an absolute genius trophy once. My friend
What
gave
was
me
that
that.
for? Oh, well, that counts.
I think he saw it at Target for $5. I don't, I don't think there was any thought put into that. I think it just ended up here.
Wait, you've never won fantasy football awards? Come on.
Oh, I won one. We have a rotating belt, and I've got to hold that once in
Okay.
the 20 years we've been running that league. Anyway,
Conversation for another time. It's fine.
yes, the next 10 years of this award, where do you think we're going?
Oh my gosh. Well, in
I know
addition to,
it's so open-ended. I mean, it's hard to predict this industry in 10 years.
well, I think we know a lot in the sense of, where we've come from and where we wanted to go. The fact that we introduced the Change Maker Award and the Innovator Award
Mhm.
um, it shows that we're growing along with it, and we've recognized that kind of change within the industry. And I think there's opportunity for maybe a couple more of those type of um, awards to tack on to this because, like we've said, we get hundreds and hundreds of nominations that are so good that it would be nice to recognize some more people. So, I mean, there could be growth opportunity there to recognize different sectors. We talk about that a lot. So I think there's potential there to recognize more and go deeper too, because there's just a lot to cover, as you and I know. And you and I have talked about different ways to amplify this group because sometimes one article isn't enough. And like
Mhm.
we said, they do speak for us and we've covered them in different ways. They share news with us as they go, but I think there are different ways to put their work on display over the next 10 years. And I think it's what we've seen trend wise this year is what the where the industry is headed overall. And I think we're going to continue to see that year after year and then just follow that and see where it takes us. And that's the exciting piece of it. We're not 100% sure. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball, but if our past is a guide, you're just going to see so much more innovation. Like 10 years ago, we couldn't have dreamt of self-driving, right? I mean,
Mhm.
only in different shows, but the fact that so much has happened on the AI front and also on just innovation and technology in general. I mean, my goodness, even like we were talking about with AMP, initially they started just recognizing cardboard, and now here they are. So many more materials and being able to do that has advanced them. And there's a million, not a million, but dozens and dozens of other companies and people like that who are doing things like that that we're not even thinking about now, that the
Mhm.
innovators are going to be the ones that we see. And then we watch what they're doing and they get nominated. And we're like, we wouldn't have guessed that this would happen 5 years ago when Gage and I were talking, we would have never dreamt that this happened. So
Right, right. Well, Liz, thank you so much for breaking all that down for me. It's also a good learning experience for me because we've never gotten to do a podcast like this before. Welcome, you get to be a guest on a Waste360 podcast for once.
I love it. This is
Right?
fantastic.
You're not in the driver's seat for once. You just get to kind of hang out. Here's my perspective and share some great insights with me. Of course, our work can be found at waste360.com, where every day we're out there, we're hitting the news, we're sharing cool stories and letting everyone know what's going on. The 40 under 40 award winners for this year, 2026, can be found at waste360.com, and a great article you put together and a slideshow that we've worked on that's very nice and very presentable. Um, Other than that, Liz, any closing thoughts?
Just congrats to all of them. I mean, kudos to them, to the people who support them, the people who nominated them, their teams. We just hope it's an inspiration to all of you because this industry is so special and just kudos to all of them. Cheers to them. And we can't wait to celebrate them online as we're doing now and then in person in 27 because they deserve that stage.
Excellent. Well, Liz, thank you for joining me.
Oh, thank you, Gage.
3, 2, 1.